Happy Saturday, everyone. It's Linda coming to you again. Yesterday, I was down for the count for some reason, but I kind of wanted to finish what I was talking about, and I've gotten a couple more hits, so we shall discuss. Let's see. First of all, I'd like to thank Katie Nemeth for her book, very pretty book, and it's called the Podager Gardener. Plating your table with ingredients you grow. So I just started growing fresh vegetables. So let's see what she says to do. Very pretty. I don't eat flowers, but that's pretty. So thank you, Katie. I also want to say hello to Betty Jean. I got a text email from her daughter, Tracy, who said her mom watches me all the time, and she's like, I think she's 90 something. So that was very sweet. So thank you very much, sweetheart. And let's start diving in. I'm going to tell you some of the hits I got first, and then I'll start throwing the cards. Let's see, I need to go. I haven't had a chance to watch Nice. I was able to do Revealing Light and get the 411. So I need 1 second. One of the hits I got was that safe bill, the one that still has to go to the Senate. And I'm not feeling it's going to pass. I'll take a look, but God forbid, even if it does, it won't stay long. Everything he touches is about ready to turn around. He just announced today, or the White House announced, that there won't be any tariffs on iPhones, big screen TVs, smartphones, tablets. It's like, yeah, whatever. So that's a plus. But let me just look real quick on that safe, because did you see like 5 or 6 Democrats voted yes on that? A female Democrat voted yes on that? Who would vote yes on not being able to? Now they're talking about if you're just now starting to register the vote, then you got to show that if your name's different than your birth certificate, you have to prove that you got married or whatever. I want to see if it's going to pass through the Senate. I want to see if it's going to pass through the Senate. Here we go. Works against women, especially. Reversed evil. Oppression is what it is. Let's see what's the outcome on this. I think there'll be celebration, because I don't think it'll pass through the Senate. I think there'll be celebration because it won't go through. They're acting like it's for our safety, and it's not. They're just doing everything they can. They want to go back. They want to remove the 19th Amendment. No joke. That they want married women, to their husbands to vote for them and their family. These are cray people. And it's very unbecoming. Might as well live in Iran, right? Be forced to wear the veils. So, and here's another thing. Anybody that can handle this news, be sure to turn your head away. He told everybody that the doctors were just overwhelmed what good shape he was in at the Walter Reed Hospital yesterday. They couldn't keep their eyes off of me, he says. They're like, why is he still living? Oh. let me tell you, he could have fissures, he could have all kinds of problems, and we'll never know. And also, I'm really feeling they can't keep a record. I don't know what the Trump administration does, but they make sure there's no record that anybody could accidentally steal the information. Remember that doctor that checked him out and went on and said he was in such great shape? Then he started changing his mind and then he ended up dead. Hello. They couldn't keep their eyes off me. How many did it take to remove the diaper? Oops, I'm not supposed to be talking like that. But anyway, okay. Okay, so I really feel, is it called the safe bill? I want to call the safe bill. I don't know why, but I could be wrong. But I feel that this will be, it's a nothing burger, or even if something happens and they think it goes through within minutes, it'll be gone. Let me tell you something. Everything this guy touches is going to turn around. He's already bowing down. Now, as you guys know, the reason he did the 90-day hold wasn't that he had anything behind him. He's scared. China holds $1 trillion in debt that we owe them. Okay, we've talked about this for some time. They could call in their number and say, hey, we want our money now. Apparently, Japan started first. And I think Australia had some, and the UK, Canada has some. So I really feel that calling in the bonds is going to mess up the United States really bad. Now listen, batten down the hatch and know right now it looks okay. Oh, the numbers went up, you know. All his millionaire friends bought what they could to make money. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make money. But in the interim, there's going to be some sort of a collapse. Some bigwig just said he thinks we're already in a recession. I do feel a recession. I do feel injury financially. I've told you guys, take your money out of the stock if you could, but if you can't, don't worry. Leave it there. Don't touch it. He's in huge trouble. He's in huge trouble, you guys. And there's going to be armies of people. You know, people are saying, why are the Americans just laying back accepting this? No, we're not. Did you see how many people are marching? Millions of people are marching. There's going to be another one, I think, on the 18th. Millions. And wait till they start really hitting the Social Security. They're going to attempt, and I see them switching it right back. So if you get hit for a minute, just hold on there because it's going to cause riots. It's going to cause riots. I see people not wanting to put up with it, but not necessarily towards the White House, more towards whoever the governor is and stuff. And by the way, Kansas just reversed the veto. I think we have a Democratic governor in Kansas. They just reversed his veto so they can inspect children's genitalia to make sure they're not getting any kind of change. It's just really weird. I would just pitch a fit. Somebody wanted to look at my babies. I would just pitch a fit. But anyway, all this it's mostly white people. All this white man, Christian, all the Christian thing to do, Mr. Johnson, he's the Christian person in there. And they were all in grateful prayer that they were able to cut Medicare. Oh, hallelujah, Lord. Let's hurt the poor. You know, like Jesus be saying, dude, straight up. No. So I'm sorry, we still got a little bit. I'll tell you when I feel, oh, it's finally going. Here's another good point today. I feel Iran absolutely hates Trump, but they also don't trust him. They know he'd be stupid enough to do something. So did you see they're like acting like they want a nuclear agreement? They were saying, yeah, we think we've come, we think they're saying what they need to say. They're doing what they need to do. That's why I tell people, you know what? Try not to resist too much. And I know it's terrible if you're two-faced, but try when when they're coming at you, talk like you're pro-Trump. Like, definitely get rid of anything on your cell phone if you're traveling overseas. Did you hear about that guy from Australia that went to I think his mother's funeral or somebody, and he came back? He's been going back. He's been in the United States for 30 years, and they held him at the airport and they put him in jail, and then they sent him back to Australia. And he said, I've been going back and forth for 30 years. So it's sad, but this too shall pass. And I just want you to know it's going to be okay. We do have I even feel Australia in for some trouble environmentally. I don't know what's coming up, but I just saw that. Things are getting ready to shake up pretty good between now and through May. His people feed him that Steve Miller. A lot of things that come out of Trump's mouth are Miller talking. He thinks he's all that in a cup of tea. He doesn't realize how much he is actually hated. You know how we're seeing the numbers, and his numbers are falling, and he's under worse than anybody else. He'll be in the 30s before you know it. And you wonder why he could come out there and act like king for a day. Nobody likes you. It's because he doesn't know the truth. They're giving him fake numbers. Mark my words on this. I see Intel still talking behind his back. Listen, he's not going to be able to do martial law on Americans. I just don't see it. Now, he sent a whole bunch of military over to the Middle East, mostly because of Yemen and Iran. But I feel a little steady, but I do see someone hitting one of our ships. I see a ship getting hit. A military naval ship, and some big fallout because of that. But I'm not seeing a war, declaration of war. I'm seeing, thank you, Iran. I see Iran actually, although I don't really care that much for Iran because of the way they treat their women, but I see them knowing this guy's cray-cray, and he would do something crazy. Plus, Putin doesn't want him to touch Iran, which is very interesting. Now, did you see that Putin's oil has gone below $60 a barrel? Not good, not good. But do we see the benefits here? Not yet. Still almost $6 a gallon out in California. So you guys just hold on to your hat. If you got any money stashed away, they're not going to take your money out of your account unless it's over $250,000. Then take that money and put it elsewhere, or on money market, something else. We're going into sort of a depression, but not as bad as it can be. Trump is just making his rich people rich. That's all he cares about. But I want to ask you guys, is there a chance that budget will go through the Senate? The budget that Mike Johnson's got on his knees and thank the Lord Jesus. Yes, thank you for taking away from the poor and giving to the rich. It's I can't judge him, but let me tell you, his soul is in trouble. Because when you walk around with that kind of ugliness, and you know who else is in trouble? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mark my words, she's in huge trouble. I could see psychically Bondi being before a judge. I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene. I see that look on her face of, she's very proudful, and she's not begging for mercy, but she knows it's over. When Trump is gone, they're all over. Okay. Angel of Light and Mercy, tell me about this budget. So what are they all on Easter vacation? They get their holidays. I'm going to tell you something, and I'll double check it. You guys send me the names of the Democrats that voted for that safe thing, because they will get taken out. Let me tell you, they're not messing. Come midterms, Oh, they think they can stop this and that. It's going to be so overwhelming, they're not going to be able to stop anything. The ones that blatantly cheat, like Texas and Florida, they might run into some issues there. I wanted to tell you too, I saw in handcuffs, I saw Governor DeSatan. I saw his wife being put in handcuffs. And I heard a little rumor about there might be some trouble. I saw her in handcuffs. I saw her being arrested. This is after Trump is out of office. And this is, I think, when does he end? Hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me put you on pause. When I asked, I accidentally said, when does Satan end his last term in Florida? And it knew who I was talking about. But they said he ends in January of 2027. So next year there'll be voting going on. After he steps down, it's trouble because I know, well, it'll happen in 28, but still, it's trouble. It's trouble. I don't know why I saw her in handcuffs. And he wanted her to be governor. Yeah, not going to happen. Okay, so thank you. I use that chat GPT. It's all right. They're just pulling stuff off the internet. It's nothing spectacular. Okay. God, there's so many scams going on right now. I'm getting calls all the time of people saying, just call us to make sure that this $1,400 iPad you ordered, it's okay with Apple. Just call us out. I ain't calling nobody. I just block them all. Okay, so let's go here. So you guys be careful about scams too. And especially with me, I don't ask people to call me. I've had people, one person actually paid and she was like, well, can I get a refund since you're not going to read me? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? I'm not doing any readings. Well, yeah, I booked with you, such and such. I said, oh, honey, it wasn't me. And then, especially when they want you to go down or they want you to get a WhatsApp and all, I don't have none of that. Okay. Angel, light of mercy. Let's look at if the Senate is going to pass that bill. It's going to get chopped up. Okay, go ahead. I'm using Morgan Greer. I love the Morgan Greer. So there's going to be a lot of fighting going on about this. It's going to be blown up. They don't like the money or too much money. Sorry, you guys. I think my son is here. Hold on. I just went out because I thought it was my son, and he usually goes in the garage so he can drop off his laundry and start doing his laundry. And the dog starts barking, which is interfering me with you. And so I went out to tell him, "Hey, can you hurry up? Because the dog's barking and I'm doing a show." And lo and behold, I opened the door. There's this tall, good looking guy. oh, excuse me. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were my son. Actually, I adopted him when I was 10, but. Ooh, the angel of light is looking over this. Reversing on money. They're fighting about money, you guys. That's for sure. The Senate seems to be more upset about their constituents all over them like a cheap suit than the congressmen are. They don't like this. There's some sort of hold off on this. There will be some sort of agreement, but it's chopped up. It's chopped up. And don't worry, whatever they do, this isn't going to last because the minute next year, when the blue steps in, We start putting uh, impeachment up for Trump. We can't pick on him too much when the blues come in because people get pissed off about that too. So it's weird. Just like with President Clinton, they were all gung ho on the BJ situation, and a lot of people got turned off. Even Trump got turned off. He said, "Leave the guy alone." Ain't nothing but a little side activity. Anyway, that really put a dent in the Clinton energy. He was a great president. He did a lot for this country. But the fact that they treated her as the enemy, I think really worked against them because she was just a kid and she was just in love, you know? Uh, okay, so yes, Trump is making money from the tariffs he's allegedly imposing. Apparently, there's no one at the shipyard to collect these tariffs right now. So it's a big freaking joke. He put it on pause because he's getting hit with people calling in their bonds. And they could do it all at once and devastate us. Absolutely devastate us, but they're not. And I remember years ago hearing that China, if they called in their bonds, it would destroy us. It's worse than bombing us. You know what I'm saying? So apparently, China and everybody's talking amongst themselves, and they're like, give it to them piece by piece. But Japan was, and then that's when he said, "Oh, I'm putting it on a 90-day hold." Yeah, I bet you are. That Peter, whatever his name, didn't add that up, idiot. So, that's interesting. Casey asked about, will someone be put into the Supreme Court? Um, and I always thought Thomas would exit. Oh, you know what? I just got a hit. Let me just say it real quick and we'll see if it happens. I got a hit. Maybe Thomas is going to have to go out because he's sick. And I even feel Robert's having to go. A lot of these guys will be gone when the new administration comes in, but they're going to have, I don't care who he picks, because they're going to have a hell of a time putting them through because there'll be more blues than reds. So, yeah, you'll have a hell of a time putting them through. Just like they told Obama, no, you can't bring in so and so because there was more of them than there were of us, and they were able to do. Well, guess what? They're going to get a little taste of their own medicine. Okay, so don't worry about that yet. Right now, I don't know why. Can I ask real quick? Let me ask real quick. Why is Thomas not? I thought for sure the minute Trump got in there, Thomas would exit. Why hasn't Justice Thomas stepped down? Oh, I just got a hit. Okay, so he would not step down because he's able to get more benefits from the people he was getting benefits from, but he had to cool it because they were all over him like a cheap suit. And now it's like, oh, yeah, I can start taking these vacations and doing fun things again. That's what I'm getting. Like, and who's going to call me out on it? That's what I just picked up. Tell me about Thomas. Yeah, he's traveling, he's doing fun stuff. Yeah, but his health isn't good. Soon, maybe even by May, he might not be feeling so great. And the other thing they said, this bill that just passed in Congress, we lost. Two of our people died, and one other is in the hospital. So if that hadn't happened, we might have been able to beat them out. Okay, so yeah, a woman might come in. A woman might come in, but I don't think it's from Trump. I don't think it's from Trump, you guys. I think somebody's coming in, but they just might work with the eight of them. Hold on, let me look real quick. Okay, we need the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I opened the door and I was just like kind of like I got this top on, but I got my jammies on the bottom, barefoot, open the door, and then I gotta hold my stomach in and not worry about not passing gas. Okay, here we go. Tell me about Thomas in the Supreme Court. I'm using the prediction deck right now. And we got Easter coming. I'm cooking a prime rib. Heavy burdens. Uprising rebellion. Prepare and stock up. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble coming up. But I feel that the Supreme Court, see, Trump just said to the people he allows to follow him, I really like the Supreme Court. Now, remember, it was a 9-0 judgment on Garcia that he needs to come back. And he said, I plan on following their instruction. That's what he said. Now that I know they're acting like, no, well, we don't have to. No, I told you guys the guy's coming back. I can't tell you when, and I can't tell you if there'll be a little bit slip and slide. But there's some things these people are doing that aren't really directed by Trump, believe it or not. I just feel like that Steve Miller is neener, and I don't have to. But the way Trump talked about the Supreme Court, he actually didn't want to look disrespectful. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so tell me about Garcia. Will he get to come home? Yes or no? Will Garcia get to come home? Hopefully sooner than later. I feel yes. Okay. Yes, but consequences, damage done. There's some sort of sad news with him, or maybe he's traumatized, really traumatized. Okay. These people are horrible, you guys. Just horrible. Everybody's saying martial law in the 20th, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. Will Trump try and stop the midterm elections? No. Well, he may behind closed door, but he's not going to be able to do anything. And then did the Supreme Court? Yeah, the Supreme Court said that Trump has the right to get rid of probational employees. If you look at the Constitution, probational means you're not really hired in, so they actually have the right to remove them. It's the ones that are, there's a word for it and I can't think of it. Some teachers get that where they're in and they're in. They're no longer. My son worked at his job for a year and then he was no longer probational. Are the tariffs going to do us in? I don't think so, because he keeps taking the line and moving it. I don't want you to worry about the tariffs. Now, it's going to cause some issues. It's because everybody else is so angry. I see other nations, and they're never going to trust him again. So our economy will suffer. But the fact that they don't even have anybody at the docks to collect the tariffs is amazing. And I see that, he really thought he could be big man on campus, and that everybody was going to follow. Oh, yes, Your Highness. And he said 40 people want to negotiate. No, there's a few, but no, I think Vietnam might be one of them. I know the penguin place could care less. Let's look, the outcome of the tariffs. What are they going to do to this country? I'm telling you, we've got something bigger over his head than he has over us. Not we. Foreign markets, that the Chinese especially have bonds that they're going to call in. And they're not going to do it all at once. They're going to let it bleed slowly. And maybe that's why all of a sudden he was nice about the Supreme Court. Distraction, illusion. So he did this for this sellout so his people could go in and buy in. It's an illusion, you guys. It's an illusion. Okay? Don't worry about it. Offering donation. That could be us as Americans coming together, because it's going to be a bad Christmas if we don't get Chinese toys. And there's another health crisis coming in. That's the fourth time that thing has said that to me. And there will be a warship, some sort of battle with a warship and corrupt dealings. I'm going to tell you, Sheldon Whitehouse and he calls them watermelon head, Adam. Anyway, they are totally correct. They are making money off of this behind closed doors. Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of them are buying stocks while they drop so they can make millions. This is all a scam. It's like they said, it's a scam. Now he's getting caught, so I do see that this getting pulled back. But the other thing is, I see that that we're going to call these bonds is really going to hurt them, really going to hurt Trump more so than us, because he's like, holy cow. Because what if America gets hit, then he's already dropping. He's down to 41%. He'll be in the 30s before you know it. Yeah, Pam Bondi, not only did I see her having to exit, I don't see Trump around, but I see her under arrest. I see her having to appear before, the Senate. I see jail sentence. It's no joke. There's so many of them that are going to be in trouble. I just learned today that Doge says it's closing the USDA headquarters. Yeah, they're going crazy, David. And I just want you to know this too shall stop. Just be careful of anything you eat. Even eggs, don't eat them over easy, eat them scrambled. Although eggs prices have gone down. Let's look how that hands-off protest is going to do on April 19th. On April 19th, there's a hands-off protest. How's that going to go? And I'll be on today with Arthur at 3. I don't think we're live, though. Hands-off protest, April 19th. I know a lot of people that did the march just recently, and they loved it. It's comradeship. It's people standing with people, and kind of tired of this ugly. My dad was a person as mean as he could be. He never believed in holding a debt to anybody for anything. I mean, he was the type of guy that never had a bill come in because he paid all his debt. Cards didn't used to like him as a client because they couldn't make any money off of him. But he also believed in people paying their debt, and he didn't like that cheating stuff that goes on. And he would be just so sick. And my dad had money in all kinds of banks. Let me tell you, that money would be gone. He would have taken it out and hid it out in the backyard if he had to. Hands-off protest, April 19th. Let's take a look, see. Hands-off protest, April 19th. A lot of people gathering with love, tired of the heartache and trying to figure out where to go next. Look at this, it looks good. Raking in just rewards. We're still under stress. Look at this good energy coming in. We're still under stress, but it's going to be so many people. And you know how they didn't cover it on some, especially Fox News? I see it more covered, but there's not. See, they'll cover it if somebody like that guy, that MAGA that pulled out his gun and threatened people. Notice how they didn't cover it. But if it was, somebody with a pink hat on, they would have covered it. Oh, look what they're doing. I think it's going to be real good. I think I just don't see this as the end. I see people marching, gathering like we see in the pictures of foreign nations where they're just not going to put up with it anymore. Millions of people out. And if he dare to tell his military to hurt civilians, they won't do it. Okay. The hands-off protests the 19th. I'm just going to get a couple of my prediction deck. Let's see if they say something different. Uprising, rebellion, duh. That's definitely gonna assistance and help. The farming industry is really suffering too. But here's an unexpected result. So I think they're going to listen a little bit. And it's not because it was drama or people getting hurt. It's because they know it's that many people. His numbers are really, I don't know how he can get a hold of the information. I just know those people keep him isolated, so he can't know, but somehow or the other, he's going to find out. Do you see a major earthquake hitting the United States? I see some heat waves coming here. Fires. There was some over here in I'm getting India with a good size quake. I'm getting Russia and China. The United States. Wow. I'm getting a heat signature from like Mississippi, Louisiana coming up from there. I even get Oklahoma and Texas, but not major. I'm not getting anything over 6 right now. Oh, they just told me an 8 point, maybe up towards Alaska, an 8 point. No major city at this point. There will something like that will come, but I don't get that right now. And middle, Bakersfield, stuff like that. Maybe a 7. I see a 7. Okay, so they just showed me the news stopping. We have an important message. They want everybody to know there was an earthquake. It feels more Southern California. There was an earthquake, and we're trying to get information. I see the news people talking about it. Something like that's going to happen. When is it going to happen? Maybe July, August. I just want you guys to know, as awful as this is, just know that this too shall pass, and everything's going to be reversed. Everything. And the stuff he did to hurt people, they are going to pay. Unfortunately, tax-wise, it's going to come out of our pocket. Oh, I wanted to tell you what else I got. When I was watching something and they just started to talk to me. All these rich people that think they're in like Flynn and made all this money, ooh, the CEOs are going to get hit with taxes. No more. I don't know why they couldn't put, I guess there's enough blue that they are saying, yeah, hit them and hit them hard. I saw that they will help take us out of our depression and stuff. They're going to, just like Clinton did, I don't know how much the tax was, but it was pretty large. Everybody was mad at him, but guess what? He took us out of a deficit. That's what I saw. I saw I don't know who the next president's going to be, but I saw bada bing, bada boom. So in the meantime, even if J.D. Vance is president, it's a nothing burger. And they actually see that there's so much blue that they can override his vetoes. So it's going to be good, but right in the middle of the bad part. Just fasten your seatbelt and wait. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but just fasten your seatbelt. And soon, good news ahead. We got a couple more hits and then boom. I do see a battleship getting hit. Something with a ship, airline crashes. Somebody's just said, we heard about the helicopter crash. The thing is, here's the other thing. You should have seen the airport when I went to Southern California. It wasn't busy at all. We went right through TSA, just bada bing, bada boom. In fact, I have clear, whatever, you use your eyes and all that. And TSA approved. And my daughter and the two kids got through and were waiting for me. They got through faster than me. So, hello. So that's the change. Nobody's coming here anymore. And they are passing the word. And those poor people from Spain that died in that crash, I bet you Spain is like, don't stay out of the United States. Don't get in their planes or helicopters, nothing. Listen, it's going to take a while to rebuild our reputation. We're not the good old country anymore. But we'll build it. And listen, even Canada knows. Like there's Canada or another place said they want to hit the red states. They know that there's states that are absolutely against what he's doing here. So they will forgive us, but we affected their abilities. They're all going to pay because of this idiot. I'm so sorry, you guys. But it will cleanse, it will change. It's a new beginning. It won't be the same. It'll be better. Okay. And we'll talk about this in about 3 years. We'll talk about this. I'll probably be sitting in a granny chair with a hunk of burning love wheeling me back and forth. So I love you all. I'll catch you later. Cheers.